Americans filling voids. Keyshawn Davis fighting for his first world title, perhaps first of many. We'll see. Against Denis Berinchyk at the Garden, Valentine's Day. I'll be flying out Thursday night to cover on Fight Night. I think Keyshawn wins this fight. It's just a matter of how can he deliver in his first world title fight what Mayweather did against Gennaro Hernandez, what Gervonta did against Pedraza, what De La Hoya did against Jimmy Breedall. Like can he not only win, because I have very little doubt he's going to win this title on Friday night, but can he make a statement that a new bona fide star in the lightweight division is born? Can he maybe even sway people because they fight back-to-back weeks? Shakur against Kid Austin, Keyshawn against Berinchyk. I'm the fight. Davis versus Davis is the fight at lightweight, not Davis versus Stevenson. That's the question Friday night.
That is exactly right. It is a beautiful time for young fighters, prospects even, to start being crowned world champions and putting their name in the marquee lights and seeing how many tickets they can sell. Go out there, be impressive, say that the matchups we've been calling for, they're not the ones that we need, that you're the guy that we need to see, that maybe the guys who, have been criticized for not fighting the best competition available and not making these major fights outside of Riyadh season will now be challenged by another crop of talented fighters who are willing to fight each other, who are willing to go out there and show up and show out. No one has cornered the market on stardom. There is plenty of attention to go around if you can grab it. So yes, I think Keyshawn has a beautiful opportunity because the 140-pound division has not been producing all of these fantastic matchups that we've been hoping to see, and that everybody's kind of been playing their own corner and trying to negotiate themselves in or out of fights and trying to capitalize on their own stardom without risking it against the other big or potentially big names that can only really be made if they fight each other. I am a big proponent of waiting until somebody has gone up against their rivals before I can crown them stars of the division. Even if you are a draw, to me, you're not a star of the division. You might be a star of the arena. You might be a fan favorite, which has its value for sure and is not nothing. But to me, until you prove yourself against your colleagues at your level, we don't know. They're all prospects to some degree until they all fight each other, until the three kings, that you need those crowns to clash. Yeah. You need in the British market the four kings. You needed Eubank Ben Senior to fight each other. Those fights either happen or they don't. If they don't happen, then we never really know how good you are. So yeah, let's go, Keyshawn. Make some noise. Put some pressure on these guys to define themselves. Make yourself the fighter to beat. There's nothing stopping you. And I think that there is going to always exist a market outside of Riyadh season to some degree. There's always the potential for somebody to be the biggest draw outside of that market. And if they want to resist that market, then do your own thing and prove that people will come see you or pay for your pay-per-view, even if Canelo is not fighting on that card, even if the American market seems to all be shifting over the Atlantic and then beyond that into Saudi. Make your name off of your performance and perform against the best in the division. That, to me, is an undeniable model in any division, by any fighter or any promotion. If you do that, stars will be born.
Well, yeah, as I'm bitching so much about the U.S. losing fights, which hurts, a big cause of that has been our terrific young lightweight, super lightweights from Shakur, Devin, Ryan, Gervonta, Tiafimo, and now Keyshawn. And they just haven't fought each other enough. I mean, Leonard and Hearns fought each other at 25, 23. De La Hoya and Trinidad got it in their 20s. So did De La Hoya and Shane. And that's been hurting the game a little bit, for sure.
A lot of it.
A lot of it, right. And all those guys I mentioned, they've all done good to even great things. Like Teofimo beating Lomachenko was a great accomplishment. Taylor as well. And Gervonta hasn't really come close to losing. He's beaten some good fighters. He gets criticized for not beating a great elite fighter yet, even though the Ryan win aged well for a second, but then it didn't because, but so can Keyshawn deliver the consistency that these guys have lacked a little bit in one way or the other? Teofimo will beat Loma, then he loses to Kambosos. He beats Taylor, and then he looks bad against Jermaine Ortiz and Sandor Martin. Devin Haney becomes undisputed. A lot of people thought he may have lost to Lomachenko. Then the Ryan debacle happens. Ryan's got all the talent in the world, still hasn't won a world title, still hasn't actually won a title. Shakur and Gervonta are undefeated, and Gervonta's a knockout artist and a star, but hasn't fought that fight that you really want to see him prove he's great. And then Shakur, like Gervonta, hasn't really come close to losing, but there's questions about why didn't this guy let his hands go? Why, some of these performances are putting Cameron and Mace to sleep. And so it's like, can Keyshawn deliver that consistency? Can he not do the 1 or 2 steps forward, 1 step back? Can he just be one of these guys that can shoot to the top and give America what it needs? That's what we'll see from not just him, but from all of these guys in the next 2 years or so.
And is he one of these guys who is willing to maybe take less than he could get for the fight that he needs? That's, right. I think, one of the biggest barriers. Before Turkey Al Sheikh was really a conversation. Before that was an issue, these guys were still greedy bellies. And they were still trying to jockey for a side, and this fight's not worth it, or you're not a big enough star, while you know that all the fans want to see this matchup. They're out is I'm a bigger star than you, so why should I not make X amount of dollars while you make almost no dollars, or price themselves out of the fight, or the networks or the promoters are not working, all the same old shit. At the end of the day, we do know for a fact that if a fighter wants to fight another fighter and that fighter wants to fight him, if they decide that this is all they're willing to do, then everybody around each one of those fighters finds a way to make it happen. Maybe Keyshawn is the guy that will start that domino effect. Let's hope.
Yeah, maybe he's the guy to kind of more explicitly draw out what I think you're getting. Maybe he's the guy, like Benavidez said, I was going to take the flat fee $5 million to fight Canelo, and he was going to get 70. Maybe it's going to take that from Keyshawn with Tank. Hey, you know what? I could haggle and talk about, well, I deserve this cut or that cut. You're only going to give me a couple mil. I think I could actually beat you and assume your position and make the 8-figure paydays after I beat you. Maybe we'll see. We'll see if that can be done.
There it